I feel like President Ruto has put too much of his eggs in one basket. I hope it turns out well, but this doesn't look good.
It looks like optics, but
It's optics,
I don't
yes.
know if there's anything in there specifically that says, okay, this is for the diaspora, where hata ungesema I just don't know if there's anything in there specifically for the diaspora. I can see where, like there's always so when these guys sit down and meet, right, the president comes with his list of things. First lady pia nakuja na vitu zake, si ndio? Hopefully first lady akikuja na aulize, ambiwe, okay, wewe unataka kitu gani, aseme pengine aende vitu kama hizi stories za maternal, improving NICUs, to me, those are things I see as, say vitu za wanawake and education for me, and
in the United States.
yes.
What do we expect? Where is he going? For those who want to see the president, where can they go?
In Hotranta, all that schmack.
So the president lands in the country on the 20th, and he's going to be here for a week. He lands in Atlanta, and while he's in Atlanta, he's going to meet Kenyans. He's going to meet folks who are in business. There's some people who there's some business, some companies, Kenyan companies that are now operating stores in Atlanta. So one of them is Vivo. So he's supposed to go to, I think, the Vivo store as well, which is in Atlantic Station. Folks of Atlanta, if you know Atlanta, then you know where Atlantic Station is. Then there's supposed to be I don't know if it's a town hall, a meet and greet, something similar, with Kenyans in the evening. I think it's either in the evening or from I think like 4 p.m. up, or between 4 and I think it's between 4 and 7 or something like that. It's supposed to be at Cobb, I think Cobb Galleria or something like that. But if you do want to know more information on how you can register for this event or RSVP for this event, I think they have the information on the Kenyan Embassy site. I think they do have the information on the Kenyan Embassy site. Maybe Ali, you can check for me or something like that. Then as well, throughout the week, or at least a time frame when he's in Atlanta, he's going to meet with creatives. He's going to tour the, I think, Tyler Perry Studios. Supposed to meet with by creatives, it's folks who are artists, as well as maybe music, people who are in music, people who are in film, business. He's also supposed to be meeting with business folks, so Kenyans who are doing business in America, or Kenyans who are here in the diaspora who are running businesses, successful businesses. There's actually a Kenyan guy who for years has been running he's got a huge dealership, and it's been years. By years, I'm saying a minimum of 10 years. This guy's been having like
a car dealership.
Yes, car dealerships.
Okay.
I think he rested.
Did he?
Yeah, Karango.
Yes, I think that's yes. So, but didn't the family continue with it or something?
I think they continue.
Yeah, but I mean, that's an example of one. I think you're right. That's an example of one person who's been in business or has a business presence in Atlanta area and has been for a while, right? And there's other guys who have been doing business in Atlanta for a long time. Just Chiniamaji doing their thing. I don't want to. I was gonna put that guy out there, but I'm not gonna do that. But there's a bunch of folks in Atlanta, and some of these people would be the people who potentially would be meeting with the president. And I think the thought behind it is more of investment, trying to figure out, okay, what does it take for you are already in business, you're in the diaspora, what is it going to take for you to come back and invest in Kenya, bring money home? Because I guess the whole point is to get foreign dollars, quote unquote, to shift back home, and possibly maybe even interrogate some of these folks on what is it that we can change to make things easier. And I think overall the whole point is to find a way to get the diaspora to be more involved at a personal level with the economy back home, whether it's doing investments, maguta, whether it's, whatever it is. Yes, and I think that the whole diaspora desk is supposed to be more visible during this trip and with getting in touch with folks. So I would recommend for a lot of people, if you're in the Atlanta area, probably see a way you can go to those events, or at least the ones that you can get to, ask questions, get information, network. You never know. Even there might be even job opportunities, because there's a whole, like, this is a state visit, so there's a whole entourage. And then at some point they would come to DC. Then now when they come to DC is where you have what I would call the meat and potatoes.
Okay.
So that's now when he's actually going to be dealing with government officials, Joe Biden. There'll be breakout sessions with the different portfolios, with health. I know with health there is supposed to be a meet and greet breakfast with healthcare or health people in health who are in the health professional field are supposed to be meeting with the CS of health. But I don't know particulars of how one who say, if I have my own business like Babahanya and I want to meet with the CS of health to maybe facilitate for me to open up a similar thing. Maybe I want to get nurses from Kenya and bring them over here, and vice versa. Like, what is it that we can do, and how would the Ministry of Health facilitate with something like that? Because we probably have excess nurses, not enough jobs for them. We can bring them out here, quote unquote, right? So there's whole breakout sessions. Now, we don't have particular information of, like, let's say, go to person X and get this information. As far as we know, the number one person that we would always recommend for folks to go to is go to the embassy, look at the embassy website, see what they have in there, whether it's registration for something, whether it's registration for these breakout sessions, and you pray and hope that you can get in. Unfortunately, because of timing, I would say if you are not on a list somewhere, I don't think, quote unquote, you're getting in.
But how would you even know what list to be on?
Okay, so like, for instance, let's say I'm an IT guy, right? It would probably, and maybe I want to do something with IT or what they call ICT, right? We do have ICT folks, right? And they are going to be having breakout sessions, because there's folks who are going to come here. Maybe there's a whole plethora of guys who've just graduated. You want to place them in Google. You want to place them wherever it is. Or you also want these guys to work remotely from Kenya and do contracts, do certain sorts of things, right? There's all sorts of things that are available. And it's not that it's not available. It's not like it's not there. But part of my feel is that part of the problem that we are having is, again, back to this tax thing. That the tax stuff that is being done is so punitive, to the point that if I am an American company, I am not going to go out and get guys in Kenya to do my work, yet I can get it done for me in India at half the price with less tax ramifications.
No, totally.
So and so this thing of, quote unquote, like double taxation, let's say you pay tax through your mother company, then you're still paying to Kenya. That sometimes can push out, the multinationals, and if you're pushing out the multinationals, they're the ones who have the money. Who are you leaving behind? So
but they're already doing that by chasing out the guys of EVs.
Again, I'm
with you.
So all I'm saying is that if you're, there's some folks who have brilliant ideas, but it would behoove them, maybe if you're in Atlanta, if you're an Atlanta person,
but Omosh also
show up at that thing in the evening,
no,
and
Omosh,
maybe there'll be somebody there.
Here's the problem also.
Yeah.
Communication.
Okay. We have had communication issues since day one.
From
when
where?
I say
when?
I say we've had communication issues.
So that's the problem.
When I say that, us as diaspora, information that comes to you almost like trickle down. It trickles, and if you don't know somebody, you're not getting the
and that's the problem.
It should not be that way.
And that's the
right?
problem. That's the problem.
Correct. Because we are giving information here, but we don't even have, like, if we had somebody say, go to email X, I can't tell anyone to go to Email X.
Tomorrow morning, if you wake up, all media houses probably have Biden's schedule for the day. Every day.
Correct.
And probably, like, if he's going to go to the EU, whatever, you already have it. It was not until the other day we got sort of a schedule of how things are going to be.
And even that schedule, where did that schedule come from?
How did you get that schedule?
Where,
it wasn't
that
given
schedule,
to you?
It wasn't.
No, that schedule, we got it from our malls.
Our malls inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, again,
so I mean,
what is so secretive about it?
Yeah, you know, like.
So, again, because you're talking about President Biden,
yeah,
leader of the free world, you know, whatever. Huyo mse schedule yake inajulikana.
Actually, yes. So
Hapa,
there is a link on the Kenya Embassy.
when did it just come up?
No, the link is for RSVP.
It's for RSVP.
No, this is done for the engagement. This is new.
When?
I don't remember. Had you seen this, Ali?
No, I'm seeing it now.
And actually, you know what? I give props. There's a time Udi sent me a text. He actually said, by the way, the guy is coming to Atlanta. It's official on the Kenyan Embassy website. I'm like, what do you mean? Cheki.
Yes.
Do you know how he found it? He was going to look up or apply, I think, for visas.
Yes.
To apply for a visa, like, you know,
Correct.
get information
Yes.
on visa. That's how he's like, so it's official. It's on the website. Because prior to that, it wasn't there.
Yeah, and there was a flyer that was going around that looked very suspect. You're like,
so
what the heck is this?
Again,
and you
what is like,
you know, I personally wish them all the best. You know, like, I'm glad, you know, like, Omosh is gonna be our representative in in all those events.
I will try. So actually, from what they're saying here, and you know, I had seen this stuff, but I was like, So they say there's actually an expo, is what they're calling it. It's a Diaspora Tech Investment Expo on Monday. On the 20th of May.
Let's say this thing has come out today. Yeah?
So I
if
think
there are people who are in IT, let's say, for example, if Ali had an IT company. No, not unless Ali is in the know or is in the who's who, ama anajua watu, then he can organize. But if, let's say, for example, if you're not in the know, but you have an IT company, you're doing data, you're doing health, or, you know, you are cybersecurity pertaining to data and, you know, data privacy and stuff, and you're being told today, surely.
And this is something that we told.
So we told folks.
We told IBC. Kenya has known about this trip for a very long time.
We've known
about it for
been
a
over,
very long time. It's been over 6 months.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it's funny how they say this is the first guy to be given a state dinner this year. Biden has done only 6.
Yeah. 5 or 6.
No, 5, 6 in his term. In his term. He's only done.
He's only done 5. So this is number 6.
6 state dinners.
Yeah.
6. But now all of a sudden we're being told,
and now you see, and that's the reason why. I mean, it's good, you know. For me personally, let me just say at a personal level, because I mean, you know, people may assume it's because of my political position. I'm happy I'm not gonna be in any of those events. I'm very happy because my experience with these diaspora events is that they're very one-sided. You know, like, you go and then it's a speech, you know, like it's them talking down to you and telling you guys what you need. They're not interested in knowing about you. Now, this, of course, is a state dinner. This one is going to be more choreographed, especially when it comes to DC. But I think we are nuisance. We are not their priority.
But also remember, because I was listening to, I think it was NPR. Already the people who are supposed to participate by invite, wameshapewa invite.
Oh, yeah, of course, yes.
DMV
now,
for the state dinner.
So now, yes, you're right. For the state dinner, there was also a reception that's at the South Lawn, which I think we discussed this last week, right? That there was a link on the Kenyan embassy site where you could go and register, so that you could be part of the people who were receiving or the president in the South Lawn. And I was like, huh? There was? So I went and actually saw the link, and I clicked on the link. There's like, there's nothing. You're imeenda.
This link is like the public participation.
No, but it
just
was
there.
Wait a minute.
To check
How
a
about
box.
this thing was there from April 24th? But again, the whole point of it, no, it was there. If you
The link was there, but was the click valid?
But it was okay. Wait a minute. Look, it was a link that was there, but you didn't know it was a link because it just said information. What did it say? I think the header said something like information on upcoming president's trip. Then when you go there, that's when you see, you can participate, and if you want to participate in the thing, click here and register. And then I guess maybe they pick you from a lottery system. Maybe they, I don't know, kama kuna manjungu, they shake and they say, okay, one mic, huyu ataongea matope, Z. Okay, let me pick Ali Z. Huyu, So again, there's different things, but I know this one at least for where what normally we would do in DC, it seems like they're doing in Atlanta. But more targeted with different things. And it almost seems like when I'm looking at this and they're talking about it as a tech expo, it almost reminds me of the diaspora.
The diaspora conference.
That to me, it seems like. But this is all, again, this is tech. To me, it seems like it's geared towards tech and investment from a tech perspective. And I think the driving force being that the Kenyan ambassador the U.S. ambassador to Kenya is from a tech background. I think that may have probably.
She's trying to find business for American tech companies in Kenya,
and it makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean, she was
at
eBay, she was an HP. She's a former
eBay,
former HP. So again. Hey, Google's
Mama
gonna
Google
will cool from there, Facebook will cool from there. So you never know. There might be folks who are there. So hata kama ni job unatafuta, mimi ningeenda huko nitafute tu job, si ati unaenda. But anyway, you didn't hear it from me. But I'm just saying that these are some of the engagements that are going to be there. Then at some point, there's supposed to be a panel discussion with President Ruto. Now you can go online and you can just enter your name, your phone number, email, and if you have questions, you can also enter the questions and your suggestions and remarks. And it's there on the website for the Kenya.
But to me, the big thing, because one of the personal reasons I'm not attending even anything that's in DC is mnajua sisi watu wa kuvaa kitu, we're not going anywhere close to the White House. This thing is so serious.
This one is
we are not going anywhere close to the White House. If I had an opportunity, the one thing that I would want is to get those poisonous Israel clauses out of that US-Kenya free trade agreement. I think Pablo has read it. Pablo has seen them. Those are very poisonous clauses, especially right now with what's happening in the world. Those are things that need to be taken out of that trade agreement, because that has nothing to do with trade between Kenya and the US.
We should interrogate that.
So to me, that's the one thing that I would want to interrogate. Why are you allowing the US to insert clauses about Kenya, like always supporting Israel, like on matters BDS, on matters in the UN, and just other things that have nothing to do with with trade. I wish the president all the best, and the people who will attend all the best. The problem that I have sometimes with our diaspora people, I'm sure we'll see a lot of pictures. We'll see a lot of what do you call it, selfies. So we'll see a lot of people who are out there to make a name, but I doubt if there's anyone who's out there looking at the impact that this can have. I just doubt it. I'm going by experience.
And here you're talking about
events.
the trade agreement, right? Or you're talking about
No,
everything.
I'm just talking about everything.
Okay.
I'm just talking about everything. The trade agreement, of course, is big. Here's the other problem, Omosh. I'll tell you, 90% of those people who are attending, they don't even know that there is an existing negotiation of a trade agreement between the US and Kenya. They don't know.
That's true.
They don't know. And I'm not blaming them for not knowing, but here's where, like, if we're looking to have impact, we should have done our homework. One of the big things I would have liked to have seen in that trade agreement, because America is adding poisonous clauses, why can't Kenya also say we want 10-year visas for Kenyans who are coming to the U.S.?
Correct.
The Rwandese are getting 10-year visas to come to the U.S. So these are discussions that I'm completely not hearing, which is why I'm saying this is gonna be a very successful event for America. It's gonna be a very successful event for America.
Yeah.
But for Kenya, I think the president will get the publicity he wants. People will get per diems. But is it gonna have any special impact on on our people in the diaspora? I highly doubt.
To be honest, I don't. To be honest, I don't know if the diaspora, if there's anything in there, quote unquote, for the diaspora, other than I would say at this point, looking at what we are from where we sit, it looks like optics. But I don't know if there's anything in there specifically that says, okay, this is for the diaspora. Where ata ungesema, I just don't know if there's anything in there specifically for the diaspora. I can see where, like there's always, so when these guys sit down and meet, right, the president comes with his list of things. First lady pia nakuja na vitu zake. Sindio? Hopefully first lady akikuja na ulize ambiwe, okay, wewe unataka kitu gani? Aseme, pengine aende vitu kama hizi stories za maternal, improving NICUs, to me, those are things I see as, say vitu za wanawake and education for me. And maybe even literally to the point where, because there was a time when Kenyans used to come to the US a lot to go to school. Right? So why don't we...
But these are visas ilikwama.
But Amosh, they are planning.
Okay, okay. We are past that stage. We are at the stage where it's here. Right? So I'm just saying that the asks that, let's say the asks that the first lady would have when she sits down and she's told, okay, Sasa, what's your wish list? You know what I'm saying? To me, I would think that you would want to find some way of... Because right now, can you tell me something that the First Lady stands for? That's a program that she stood for. Because, with Margaret Kenyatta, we knew what she stood for. Kale Kaziros, what was it? The clinics and all of that, right? Sindio?
Prayers.
Now, Pablo is saying, is telling me, Ali Badawi, please show up. I'm sure there will be people similarly dressed and maybe seeking to be heard through demonstrations. And if you get an opportunity, speak up. Huku sio Kenya where tear gas itarushwa bure. Our issue is not tear gas. Like, for me personally, like, and for what I represent, we're not looking to make a name. We're looking for impact. Like out there, like if I go, like with maybe... with my scarf, yes, maybe I'll make a name, maybe I'll stand out in the crowd, but what exactly am I doing there? Like what impact will that have? So for me, because this
Tell
thing,
Pablo, we have seen guys we know kicked out.
Yes, absolutely. We've seen guys we know kicked out. So to me, like, this is a mini Super Bowl. This is a mini Super Bowl for Ruto and his team. I don't want to be a party pooper, so I don't want to ruin the party. I don't want to ruin the selfies. I don't want to ruin the vitenges. I don't want to ruin, so people can go there. But I think, the only thing that I'm asking people is when you go there, like, this is America. Tuacheni mambo ya, oh yeah, we are here, selfies. We bought dresses and we bought suits to come here. You have to be asking yourself, what exactly am I going to do here? Like, what impact are we looking for? And that to me is the saddest part, because a lot of the people who've contacted me, like in terms of, oh, Ali unakuja nini, most of them, they're not even abreast with the issues. And that's a problem.
But this is supposed to be about Kenya, not about the president. I don't know if it's making sense.
But the guy who's
because this is supposed to be about Kenya, correct?
Yeah, but the person who's in charge of Kenya is one who is coming.
No.
So your concern...
I understand he's the one who is coming. But what I'm trying to say is that the big picture of this, not the picture that we see, the big picture of this is Kenya and the impact on Kenya. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
That's right.
I get what you're saying.
I get what your point of motion, but you see,
But
That's what it's supposed to be. Now, whether it ends up being that.
now you see with the American side, they know exactly what they're looking for, and they will most likely achieve it. With Kenya, we are kind of like all over the place. We are still asking ourselves questions. Like even you as an American, you can go. Just go to the website and you'll figure out exactly why they're doing this, what they want to achieve as Americans. But with Kenya, with these things coming up very last minute that people didn't even know that this is where the president will be going, this is what he'll be doing. It's kind of like we're just going by good vibes. We're just going by good vibes and seeing what will come out of it.
Good food.
Yeah. and you see, at the end of the day, America, whenever they want something from you, they will pamper you. There is a reason why President Ruto got a shout out in a Biden speech at the UN. He doesn't just normally shout out anyone. There's a reason why he's one of 6 getting a state invite. There is something that America is looking for. When America wants something from you, they will pamper you to death to the point where, and they will have something on you to the point where now when you imefika your time, now you have to give us this. This is what we want, and you will have no choice. And unfortunately, I feel like President Ruto has put too much of his eggs in one basket. I hope it turns out well, but this doesn't look good. And I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it to kill the mood.
No, prophet of doom.
No, I'm not saying it to kill the mood of people who've bought vitenges and who've bought suits and everything. Yeah. But
I don't know.
To me,
you better not.
This just doesn't. It just doesn't look good. There's other things that like there's other issues like the Kenyan police going to Haiti. I know that's the last thing on the mind, and I know it's a process that.
And by the way, people have even forgotten that.
Yeah, people have forgotten that. Yeah, nobody's out here.
The issue, and we all want what is good for Kenya, but boss, we don't even have to go far. Let's look at the finance bill. Let's look at what has been happening. Let's look at the taxes. Because all these are directly affecting us.
Correct.
We are being affected directly because we've got loved ones. Our mothers are there. Okay, there's the shift. There's, at one point, you're trying to understand what is the move. What is the movement from NHIF to shift? Why not just restructure? Or do something to NHIF.
Nah, you have to put your stamp on it.
Okay, again, and that's the problem. Because there's a need and there's a want and there's a whatever to leave a legacy. But unfortunately, here's the thing: you're trying to leave a legacy. Kibaki had his legacy. That one is in as much as he did what he did, Imadhogodhanyo or whatever, 92, Alifa. People always remember what? To the economy, the boom. UK has got his own legacy. Here you're trying to force your legacy is going to be what? Taxation.
Tax collection.
That is it.
I have a question for you guys.
Here, go ahead.
Do you think we're going to see new currency that has his face on it?
No, first of all...